We live in a time where digital tools mimic analog flaws to create what we call authenticity. Instagram filters don't just color our photos, they age them, like we expect memory itself to be yellowed and grainy. Roland Barthes called it the punctum. That one destabilizing detail which makes an image feel real by making you look longer. It's a crack in the paint, a smudge on the film, a hesitation in AI-generated handwriting. Our devices don't just imitate imperfection, they weaponize it to trick or more human. This isn't just aesthetics. It's an industrial process. Tools like Mindai humanization take algorithmic perfection and introduce controlled irregularities to simulate a live performance. Why? Because we trust imperfection more than we do mastery without soul. The same logic applies to vintage photo filters, retro font packs, or even the curated roughness in minimalist design trends. It's not about nostalgia, it's about persuasion. We engineer inconsistency as if it is that these simulated imperfections aren't just cosmetic. They anchor our future experiences in something we think we already understand, a past made safe by design. We don't need to see the real thing anymore. We can feel its texture through a filtered image or an AI-generated letter. The result: a manufactured history wrapped around every new technology, sold as if it's always been there.
The earliest computers were not just machines, but bold intellectual experiments. Colossus broke codes, ENIAC redefined arithmetic scale, and each laid the neural pathways for modern.
We trust things because they feel old, even when we know they're new. Film scratches and grain are now luxury textures we pay extra to emulate in digital editing software. It's not about nostalgia, it's about controls. If I can make you believe something is authentic by making it look like a relic, then I own the future of your perception. This isn't just visual. The same logic applies to sound design and tactile feedback on touchscreens, where friction is added so we don't feel like we're clicking nothing at all. Neil Postman warned that television didn't just change how we communicate, it changed what we mean by truth. Words like history and reality became tools in a Technopolis toolbox, repurposed to serve immediacy over meaning. We don't remember the past for its facts anymore. We remember it for its aesthetic, because that's all that fits into our curated digital selves. The result is a world where authenticity isn't discovered, it's designed. The way we think about technology today is built on the visual and linguistic scaffolding of mid-20th century science. Early computer scientists used analog metaphors, circuits as nerves, data as messages, to make abstract systems feel familiar. This legacy still shapes how trust is manufactured in our digital interfaces. We see it every time a loading bar mimics mechanical motion, or when a progress wheel feels like something grinding in the background. The illusion of labor makes
the window to fix AI security flaws is narrowing. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei says that Chinese AI models will catch up in just 6 to 12 months. He issued that warning during a conversation with JP Morgan Chase's CEO Jamie Dimon that I hosted just yesterday, moderating with him. Amodei also signaling that some software as a service companies will likely go bust. Take a listen.
I think individual SaaS companies.
In the digital age, authenticity is no longer a quality you find. It's one you download. AI deepfakes don't just mimic real people. They rewrite trust through algorithmic mimicry. What once required covert operations in analog spaces now runs on open source code and natural language prompts. The barriers to faking reality are collapsing faster than our ability to detect them, creating a kind of spoofing arms race. We've begun commodifying imperfection itself. AI handwriting generators now sell authenticity as a product, not real ink, but simulated idiosyncrasies. This isn't just about faking history anymore. It's about manufacturing the feeling of being human. The demand for this kind of authenticity has become so high that it's no longer ironic or subversive. It's routine. Neil Postman warned that in Technopoly, alternatives don't just disappear, they become invisible. When every surface looks handcrafted, but is algorithmically produced, we lose the ability to ask which came first, the human or the machine. This manufactured past isn't a lie. It's an aesthetic language that sells itself as truth. And what could be more seductive than proof that your future already exists in perfect, nostalgic form?
Out of air, water, and coal, we produce a fertilizer for which Americans formerly had to travel thousands of miles.
We are being sold a future, wrapped in costume, one stitched from fragments of imagined pasts, carefully assembled for maximum emotional resonance. The lines between real memory and digital fiction blur with every AI, generated vintage, documentary, or deepfake that resurrects long, dead icons whispering corporate slogans. Pop culture is now both mirror and mask. It reflects our nostalgia while distorting the original. We are no longer told history. We're sold a version of it, one tailored to fit the future's marketing. The erosion of trust doesn't come from conspiracy, but confusions. As Postman put it, television is a philosophy, and that philosophy now includes algorithms dreaming up the past to serve the future. When we can no longer distinguish real photographs from AI simulations, photography itself becomes suspect. Fathers said, every photograph is an ontological statement, proof that something once existed. What happens when even history is no longer rooted in time, but generated by code? The result is